Shakabapoon?
What?
Shakabapoon?
What?
SHMACKEMAGOB, it's time for the news. And that little intro you saw, I want to thank Mel Martinez Espican. I hope I pronounced that right. I asked anybody that has any children 5 years old or younger that can speak already, if you can have them say SHMACKEMAGOB, and I will use it on my video. And she was the first one to send me one. So I'm telling you all out there, if you have any kids 5 years or younger, if you can get them to do SHMACKEMAGOB on video and send it to phaselinear@yahoo.com. The link below has my email. I will use it as intros to my videos because I think it's adorable. Anyway, so let's get into the news. All right, first news, Deep Purple's Ian Gillan on his long-standing feud with Richie Blackmore. He says, "We're both assholes." You know, Gillan addressed his long-standing feud with Blackmore in a new interview with UK's The Guardian. He said, "We're both assholes," Gillan says, adding that he communicates with Richie these days a bit with difficulty, saying Richie has nothing electrical in his house, no computers, no telephones, nothing like that. So he's completely unreachable. So we do pass messages and the atmosphere is quite good. Which is cool to know that they get along. You know, I'm sure if he was ever rejoined Deep Purple, that wouldn't last long. But man, I would love Richie to be back in Deep Purple. But I love Steve Morris. I love every era, from Rod Evans to Coverdale and Hughes, and Come Taste the Band is an awesome album. I love it all. But man, I miss Richie, man. I'd love to see him, but you know, I don't think that'll happen. Anyway, next story. Metallica Anthrax members are interviewed for Armored Saint's documentary, and there's a trailer for it, and I am a huge fan of Armored Saint. And I saw the trailer, and it really got me psyched. I can't wait to see this, because this is such an underrated band, and I'd love to hear their story told by from band members and other bands. It's going to be quite the event, and it's supposed to come out this year, which is odd because this past Saturday they had one of those streaming things. It cost $10. Get to see them perform live at the Whiskey, and then they had a question and answer after it, and they discussed this documentary, and Gonzo said, yeah, working on it, it's going to be out, I don't know, a few years from now. And then a day or two later they put out this thing that is coming out this year. I was like, what? And that was really cool, the live stream. I mean, it was only an hour long. I wish it was longer, but it ended up being like 11, 12 songs. And they played a song off each album, like 3 or 4 from the new one. And I've heard that new album. Wow. It is awesome. Yes, I got a leaked copy of it, but shit, the day it went on pre-sale, I ordered the bundle that brought, you know, the shirts, the vinyl, the CDs. You know, I believe a DVD and a 45 single, you know, because I'm a huge fan of Armored Saint. I even went to San Jose, California on the reunion 2000 to San Jose. I flew over there to see it, and I'm just a humongous fan, and they're one of those rare bands that, to me, they never made a bad album. La Raza was the one album that I heard, and I go, okay, fine, they made an album that's not good. Now I love it, because La Raza, anybody out there that don't like the La Raza, do yourself a favor. Play it over and over again. Because once you do, you're going to realize it's a great album. My favorite song on there is Chilled. Just love Armored Saint. March of the Saint. And speaking of Armored Saint, Joey VIERA was honored to be asked to fill in for the late Mercyful Fate bassist Timmy Hansen. And which is cool too. Joey VIERA is an amazing bass player. Just awesome, and an awesome guy. I met him, I interviewed him, even though that interview came out bad audio-wise. You can hardly make it out because it was in a really noisy tour bus, but the guy was super cool, and I'm glad he's the one they asked, because Mercyful Fate, is up there with my favorite bands of all time, and so is Armored Saints. So to see them both merge is awesome. So that's awesome, and rest in peace to great Timmy Hansen. And speaking of Mercyful Fate, King Diamond is hard at work on albums for Mercyful Fate and King Diamond. And as cool as that sounds, because we're going to have a new Mercyful Fate and new King Diamond, which I'm excited about, but I'm not too excited of him like doing it both at the same time. I like for him to just focus on an album, finish it, and then, you know, work on the next, you know, project. I know the new King Diamond, they released one song, and it's like, man, it's been so long since the King Diamond album, even longer for Mercyful Fate. Just finished the King Diamond album, he started it, and that one song sounds awesome. So, well, it's good to know that Mercyful Fate and King Diamond are both releasing albums. All right, next story. Anthrax Charlie Benante got a Van Halen tattoo in honor of Eddie Van Halen. And here's a picture of it, and all I can say about this is cool, man. It's the classic logo, wings not rings. I won't get into all that, but you know, so many people, man. If I'd be here for hours with the amount of people that have paid tribute to Eddie Van Halen. The most touching ones was Tony Iommi and Michael Schenker. And Richie Blackmore, that's nothing nice to say about anybody. He said something really cool, very nice about Eddie. It's just an endless amount of people came out and said nice things about Eddie. Except one douche, but I'll leave that for the end. All right, next story. Ex-W.A.S.P guitarist Chris Holmes said how Eddie ended up using one of his guitars for the Women and Children First album. And I knew that Chris Holmes was friends with Eddie Van Halen. And you know, when I saw this little news piece about it, yeah, they were really tight. And Chris Holmes got in a motorcycle accident. Eddie went to the hospital asking him, can I borrow your guitar? He gave the mom permission, got the guitar, and played it on the classic Women and Children First album. And that's pretty cool to hear, man. That's pretty badass. And, all right, next story. Ozzy Osbourne fans will finally get to see the Prince of Darkness in 2022. Following Ozzy's recent health issues and COVID-19 shutting down the live music industry, Sharon Osbourne has confirmed that Ozzy No More Tours 2 run will take place in 2022. Oh. I'm not happy about it. I think Ozzy should just stop. You know, I know a lot of people like, but Ozzy lives for the road. Ozzy wants to be on stage. If he did, then why is he having these farewell tours? He doesn't want to be on stage. That's Sharon, man. Sharon needs some new shoes. You know, she's the one pushing him out, you know, and I'm sorry. Ozzy, man, he just doesn't look like, health-wise, he's doing well. And I'd rather him enjoy the rest of his life like I really know he wants to. So, it's lame. And speaking of lame, I'm going to end with this. This guy. Ugh. David Crosby. Now, look. I understand if you're not into Van Halen, that's fine. But you didn't have to be a douche about it. Seriously. You know, it's just disgusting. How, you know, somebody asked him about, you know, the whole Eddie thing, saying, look, David, I know you're not into metal, but what do you think of Eddie Van Halen? And the douche, you know, he just replied with, meh. Just disgusting. And then this other guy wrote, you know, yeah, the guy only changed the world of guitars. Jeez, Dave. And David, being the expert he is, says, Hendrix changed the world of guitar. Nobody else really. Really? Look, I get it. Many of you love Van Halen. And the one time I met him, he was nice. And he was talented. Meh to me means I don't care that much. And I don't doesn't mean he wasn't good, but was not for me. Now, this really irks me because he even met Eddie Van Halen, and Eddie was nice. He even said he was nice, and he still has that to say? You're going to just judge him because you don't like to rock? It's disgusting. You know, when Neil Peart died, they asked Stephen Pearcy, and Stephen Pearcy was basically saying, "Man, it's horrible that it sucks that he died. It's not a cool thing. I was never a Rush fan, but I feel bad that he died." See, that's the reply you give. Look, I know. Look, and some of you pickle whistlers might get upset with me, but that's your problem. I was never a fan of Stone Temple Pilots. I never liked Scott Weiland. When he died, I was sad. The guy didn't molest kids. He didn't hurt anybody. But when he died, it wasn't I was jumping for joy because I didn't like the music. It was like, damn, man, poor guy. You know, he died, and I'm sure his fans are feeling hurt, and I felt bad for the fans. I really did. But it doesn't end there. Tracy Guns, I love what Tracy Guns said. Wrong answer as fuck and rude as fuck. There are better ways to say you don't care for somebody's music. That was very disrespectful. And yes, straight out, fuck you and your smug answer. Right on, Tracy. And then Dee Snyder said, you know, answer to Tracy saying agreed. That said, I always hated David Crosby and his mustache. Just saying. Yeah, you know, fuck that guy, man. Seriously, this fucking old-ass hippie idiot. I'm serious. You know what's the difference between David Crosby and a pothole? I would swerve to miss a pothole. Seriously. You know, hey, David Crosby, I'm going to give you, you stupid, dirty old hippie, I'm going to give you 2 half a peace sign. You know, you remember that guy, David Crosby, I don't know, like 20-something years ago, Melissa Etheridge, who was like this artist that was a lesbian that had like a lesbian lover. They asked him out of everybody for sperm for a kid. He was a sperm donor. I mean, out of everybody on the planet, you're going to ask this old junkie. I mean, but then again, you know, he's a sperm donor, and, you know, it's a nut job. Get it? All right, that wasn't that good. But, you know, his music is awesome for those who suffer insomnia. Oh, fuck this guy. Seriously. You know what's the difference between David Crosby and Eddie Van Halen when they walk off stage? Eddie Van Halen would take a shower. SHMACKEMAGOB. For those that use social media, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And you can join the Almost Human 56 Facebook page. All links are in the description below. A lot of you been asking for it. SHMACKEMAGOB merch. Yes, many types of shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves, hoodies, you name it. Plus other stuff like shower curtains and bedspreads and mugs and socks and clocks and oh, I can go on. But why should I? The link is below. Just click the link below in the description for all the SHMACKEMAGOB merch. Order yours now. SHMACKEMAGOB. Hey, check out my podcast, The VIERA Vault, on SPREAKER, YouTube, and iTunes. Subscribe. The links are below.
Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Norgal, and sometimes this guy.
SHMACKEMAGOB!
Ralph VIERA is also on our network with the VIERA Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido. Ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast. And the great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.